I believe it's time to get going before we have to envelop our chat with any more chemical formulas.
I've disassociated.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, it is Sunday night. You know what that means. It's time for an episode of War of the Shattered Sun. I am your humble Dumble Master, as always, joined by my crew of intrepid adventurers. We have the Punkyard Dogs, the CGs, the Joe Mojos, the Wolf Stalker 16s, the Wicked River 97s, and the J Frost 747s. Wait a second. You're dead. You can't be here.
Ah, shit, you're right.
747 was the number of dust particles he turned into.
All we are is dust in the wind.
Yes. But we're all here for
becomes so endless.
It is Sunday night. We have a game to get to. We're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. Everybody, go ahead and roll your test rolls, except J Frost.
You suck.
You don't get inspiration. You're dead.
No.
Woogie, 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 woogie.
You can roll for funsies if you want.
I'd be.
You can roll if you wish, J Frost.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I greatly
I just can't promise you inspiration. I thought you were about to get that 20. I
was gonna be so fucking.
I was gonna give you the inspiration if you hit it, but I was gonna have to eat my own fucking word.
Nah. I was waiting for the nat 1 just so that way I could be like, yeah, let's get this shit rolling.
All right, gamers. Well, let's go ahead and find some music to start off our day.
We bring you to the ADP ATP.
Shut up! I have never in my life ever heard Punk say ADP or ADT or whatever the fuck she's saying, and now she's saying it. She said it like 8 times this far. Shut up!
I said it like 3 times. I'm hating on my homie adenosine diphosphate. Shut up. Keep his name.
You're gonna be the next to go.
Shut up.
If you're an ATT
You
customer,
Blood lines the ground. Smoke and the rumble of explosions in the near distance paint the field of war. Exilia Regalia has currently failed in their mission to rescue King Cedric Aragon, whose location continues to remain a mystery to the party. However, this mission did result in the defeat of Skull's Ogre Lieutenant Orzag, the banishment of the great Cerberus Ogon, and the defeat and displacement of 2 of the Blood Talents, the Changeling Revenant Oz and Aegis Sionis, whose fate at present remains unknown. This victory was not without sacrifice, however, as Sarah has been subjected to the bloodfire venom running through Oz's veins, and Rovan was turned into ash by the wizard Elrock Nazir, who had come to retrieve Bison Blackwell, Aegis Sionis, and was using one Ariana Silverstone as a vessel to retrieve him. Exilia Regalia now lies, all but broken, but must press forth. The assault of Zorn continues. We have a lot to address. We're going to begin our session up top, where we have Lily, Sarah, and Cage. Oz has dispersed. The fighting has subsided. This would occur roughly in the same moments as the events down below, but you are currently not privy to what is happening below you. Lily, you now seeing that Oz is gone, you rush over to your friend who... Sarah, you are not doing well. You are on your 4th point of exhaustion. You have the heaviest fever you have ever felt in your life. Your blood feels like, if you can imagine Pop Rocks, imagine that all throughout your body. It feels like you are imploding, but everywhere at once. You are shaking. You can hardly breathe. Lily, you rush over and you begin to kind of tend to Sarah. Cage kind of rushes over and goes, "What's wrong with her? Poison, right?"
Yeah. Yeah. Oz is poisoned.
Cage, without wasting a moment, "We need your friends." And he takes one of the gore splitters and he looks over to the balcony over on the side and he throws it. And I'm going to make a roll for him. Nice. As quickly as he appeared, as quickly as he has been bouncing around throughout the conflict you guys were just encountering, as the gore splitter makes its way into the balcony, he disappears from your side and appears in the balcony, quickly reaching over and grabbing the lever that Orzag pulled to open the floor to the space under the arena. Slowly, with a loud creaking, it begins to open again. Those of you underneath, you would hear the sound of grinding metal. You would see light begin to enter this cavern as your two main light sources were dispersed, one being Ogon, the other being Orzag. Sarah, at this moment, I'm going to need another con save. With disadvantage as a result of your, I believe, third point of exhaustion. One gives you disadvantage on saving throws.
That would be an 8.
8. You take your fifth point of exhaustion. Your hit point maximum is now reduced by half.
Actually, that was the last one. This one reduces my speed to 0.
You are correct. I apologize. I didn't have the chart up in front of me, but you are correct. As you crumple to the floor, you begin hacking up blood, and it begins to seep out from your mouth, your nose, your eyes. And Lily, you can see this is hardly blood. It is now like a black, boiling, almost like tar that is now leaking out of your friend Sarah.
Is there any kind of roll I can make to see if there's anything I can do to help slow this down?
Make me medicine or arcana.
I didn't have my sheet up.
It would help.
It happens. We're gonna actually go with medicine because it's slightly better.
Okay.
Nat 20!
Yo!
Good shit.
That's a great roll. There is not a lot you can do. You can't stop it, unfortunately. Not with your magical prowess, but you may be able to slow it with usage of your lay on hands. Perhaps you have an ability with your lay on hands to pump 5 to end things like a disease. You may be able to delay the end result by pumping those into Sarah.
Here's the unfortunate thing. While I was gone, 24 out of 25 of my lay on hands
You're
was used.
so right. Do you have lesser restoration by chance?
You said lesser?
Lesser restoration.
Hold on. If I remember. Scrolling, so much scrolling. I have it through Dandelion!
It might
It's
help.
an ability through my fucking sword.
It might help.
Lily's gonna do what she can. She's gonna take the moment and, she's gonna use her, she's gonna use Dandelion to cast Lesser Restoration on Sarah.
This is specifically through Dandelion, right?
Yes, through Dandelion.
Lily, you cast Lesser Restoration through Dandelion, and there is this weird feedback. Not from your end necessarily, but almost from the venom currently coursing through Sarah's veins. Sarah, your body aches terribly, like it's beginning to undergo like almost like seizure-like symptoms. However, it passes after a moment, and there's a bit of relief. You will pass your next save, not take another point of exhaustion when it comes to that. As this is going on, Cage throws another one of the gore splitters and appears at the edge of the arena as the floor is opening and calls down to the group below. We need some help up here! Oh shit. As he sees the less than intact state that is your group below at the moment.
So, in response to that, Flit kind of trigger, like, Flit seemed to have been looking off into the distance where Roland was, but upon the call, she is going to wild shape and fly up. Or wait, I got the broom.
You do have the broom. What's the speed of the broom?
50. So if I actually could dash with the broom and get up there.
I would allow that. Flit, you zoom upwards, taking to the area above, and you see the scene that is playing out before you. You see Cage, you see a number of Resistance archers, but you see Lily right now, who is utilizing their healing magics on Sarah. You rush over. As you get there, we get to the next sequence of the 6 seconds. Sarah, I need your last saving throw.
Oh, that nat 20 on the other side.
Soft 20 though.
It is a soft 20. However, that is not enough.
I thought you said she passes.
She passed on the save she was about to make. This is a new one.
Gotcha, my bad.
Unfortunately, the result of the disadvantage frankly fucked you. Flit, as you encroach upon your friend Sarah, you see as their life begins to flee from their eyes. Sarah, the last thing you see before darkness takes you is your friend Flit coming to your side. But as you take your last point of exhaustion, your vision fades and your life ends. Flit, do you have the Revivify spell prepared?
I do.
Do you have the material component for it?
I believe I do. I'm double checking. I have several.
Okay. If you wish, you may in this moment begin conducting the Revivify ritual. Because this is Sarah's second death, a ritual will need to be performed in an effort to bring them back.
Well.
Okay. Flit, you quickly ready yourself. You take the diamond out and you begin to conjure your magic into it, and you see as vines begin to envelop this diamond and completely encasing it. And as the vines retract, the diamond has been reduced to nothing but this finely ground powder. You take this powder and you conjure it into that of a flower, a rose. And you beckon it down into Sarah's form. This is now what we will begin doing. So we've kind of talked about this before. We are going to conduct a ritual to attempt to bring back Sarah. So Flit, as the caster of the spell, you will be rolling a d20 to see if your ritual is successful. There's a default DC for this, as this is Sarah's second death. Up to 3 characters within proximity can contribute to the ritual to attempt to lower the DC for you in this circumstance. In this circumstance, you have Lily to help you. If you wish, though, you could also... I'm going to actually change my music for this. If you wish, though, you can also possibly beckon Cage to come and assist you. Would you do so?
Flit, knowing what's going on, would request all the help that she can get.
Okay. Cage rushes over to your side and goes, "What do you need me to do?"
We need some way to beckon her back to her body. Something to tether her down. I don't know, but anything could help.
So, in this circumstance, we haven't really gone over the finer rulings of this, so kind of giving a bit of a brief explanation. So, in terms of contributing to the ritual, Lily, this will apply to you and Cage. A character may make a skill check or provide an item of significance to the deceased target of the spell. In this circumstance, that would be Sarah. The exact nature of the check, the exact nature of the DC that you have to make will be will be left up to my discretion and will determine what exactly you have to roll and what number you're aiming for. If you have an item, then depending on what the item, I will come up with a result. Lily, what would you like to do? You can think on it for a moment if you wish, but what would you like to do to try and contribute to this ritual? Or if you want, I can have Cage go first. Just sort of give you a example.
Okay. Well, actually, I maybe.
Maybe?
With the last medicine check, is there any way to see anything to help ease, like, to slow... I have a bottle of morphine still, as I have it in my bag. Morphine, the good shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would help at all with my last medicine check.
I will allow you to continue to try to concentrate your paladin magic into Sarah, your healing magic, to try and restore her. And if you wish, I will allow you to use the morphine to grant yourself advantage on your check.
I'll take that.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a medicine check. Make it to me with advantage. Okay. You begin to channel your energy deeper into Sarah to assist with this ritual. You do not know... You're kind of struggling to fumble. You're kind of struggling to reach into your bag to grab the morphine and concentrate on your magic at the same time. So you instead divert all your energy into... all your focus into channeling that magic. Cage, though, sees what you are doing and takes the morphine from your bag and is going to attempt to assist you. He is going to... Unfortunately, he can't make another medicine check. I will allow him to make this as a survival check, though. Okay. Cage takes the morphine and... I don't know if this is going to really work since she's already passed, but if she comes back, I'll make her feel a whole hell of a lot better. And he begins to do some... You see Cage has been through quite a bit recently, and you see he's beginning to use some of the in-the-field expertise for this, trying to keep someone from going into the beyond. And while Sarah is already gone, you do see the expertise there. You see the knowledge there, and it seems to take precedence with the actions that he's doing. As the two of you are assisting Flit, you are pouring your magic into the powdered diamond that you have beckoned to Sarah's body. You reach out and ask for her spirit to return back to her form, to her body. I need you to roll me 1d20.
16.
16. As you reach out, Sarah, you and I are going to have a little moment here.
Secret chat?
No, right here. Sarah, you begin to, as your subconscious fades, as your consciousness fades, as your soul departs your form, there's this weird sense of detachment. It's almost like you're unaware as to what's happening where you are. You find yourself in this void, this long spanning area of, to call it light is weird. It's almost like swirling colors. It spans miles and miles and miles beyond. You take a few steps and the ground below you is almost like treading in the smallest layer of water. Beyond, you see a figure. A tall figure wearing a duster and wide-brimmed hat. Without turning to you, first of all, you know who this is. Without turning to you, he speaks with a familiar voice. About time you got here, kid. Frankly, I'm surprised you didn't bite it earlier. And as he turns to face you, you recognize the visage of your uncle, Weston. I'm sorry your death couldn't have been more peaceful.
Part of the trade, I suppose.
I suppose. He hovers there for a moment, and there is a breeze that flows through. It's odd, because there's no wind, but you definitely feel some sort of air flowing through this place. This place is peaceful. Almost makes you want to let go. Unfortunately, though, kid, looks like your time's not up yet. They're always scrambling to get you back in the good fight.
Sarah gives just kind of a small smile. I knew they would. They won't leave. They won't let me leave yet.
That's good on them. Gives me, I appreciate the chance to say hello, though. When you get back out there, you give them hell, and you tell them Weston sent you. Sarah, there's almost a rumble, a pull. Something is pulling you back. Before you go, do you have any words you wish to share with Weston?
She'll just tell him Alana's doing well. I've been keeping an eye out for her.
He smiles. Thank you. She's always been stronger than I am. See you next time, kid. And Sarah, your essence, your soul, your everything is pulled from this realm, almost similar to that of a flash, but not quite. Then there's the brightness of the wasteland sun, the heat filling your lungs as you shoot back to life. This is now your third iteration, your third revival. The DC goes up. But those of you, Flit, Cage, and Lily, you standing around Sarah as she shoots up, she then immediately begins to hack and cough and gag. And Sarah, it's like you feel something trying to escape from the very bowels, the very depths of your innards, your stomach, your lungs, everywhere, and you cough up this mass, this globule of disgusting black boiling ink tar. I don't know what to call it, but it is disgusting. But you are alive once more. You go back to 0 points of exhaustion. Any of the effects that were on you via the exhaustion have now faded. However, your hit points, whatever they became when your max was reduced, your max will go back up to what it was before, but your standard hit points will remain where they are.
Wouldn't it actually be at only 1?
Traditionally, yes, but you were not ever reduced to 0 hit points technically. So this plays by a bit of different ruling. It's a technicality.
All right.
But Lily, Flit, and Cage, the three of you see Sarah shoot back to life and expel this disgusting mass from her being. And as it almost sort of writhes and bubbles on the ground, it calms and dissipates, and the black turns into the standard red of fresh blood.
the heck happened? Last I saw, Cage was saving you from the fall.
Oz's poison.
Oz, of course.
Oh, it wasn't Cage that saved her.
Where is he? What happened to him?
He's gone for a moment, but I don't know how long it is till he comes back. Wait, I need to figure out how to get rid of him, but...
You'll have time to figure that out, kid. As me. And he kind of holds up his shirt a bit, and you see this nasty scar across Cage's torso, kind of like right above the waistline. Bastard tried to gun me in my sleep. I figured after what happened with Orzag, something like this might happen. Thus, I went ahead and took some insurances. As he says that, a eagle flies down and perches on his shoulder, or perches on his forearm, and the form of this eagle quickly turns into that of a tabaxi druid. Hello. As Fangs is here now.
Narrowly, Flit would perk up, but her face remains kind of the same. That was excellent forethinking. It's good that you survived. Oz is no joke.
He was definitely... Everyone was definitely a help.
Yeah, he was nasty business, but makes me have a newfound appreciation of druids. Anyways,
I
Fangs.
get that.
Fangs, what's your report? Well, the northern flank is almost all but secured. Brisk and Gesh are doing their best to take it at the moment, wrap up. Soon we'll be moving on then towards the main castle and moving to the west as well. Good. Keep up the fight. I think I'm going to be sticking with these goons for a while. We'll be done. All of you, please, remain safe.
Flit looks at Fangs as she's about to part. I wish we could have.
With that, Fangs takes to the sky once more as an eagle and flies off towards the north. Cage turns to you, Flip. Were you all able to take care of Orzag?
Orzag's gone. Ogon is gone. He's been banished.
That's good.
And Flit looks on over to Lily and Sarah and says, Bison's gone.
Bison's gone?
How?
We didn't kill him. Maybe you should just come with me. We need to head down.
Lily nods with like a look of concern.
Flit, you begin to lead your three friends back over to the edge of the opening in the floor now, and Lily and Sarah, you would see, as well as Cage, you would see below the remaining gathering of your friends. However, there is a distinct lack of one certain Goliath.
Sarah's face kind of pales as she notices. Flit, where's Ravon?
Lily's face falls.
Diana and Corey are sat around this. Upon further inspection for you and Sarah, Lily, for the two of you, what appears to be a pile of ash. Inside of this ash, there is a magical katana, a series of heavy adamantium plate armor, and a shield with... Actually, no, the shield would not be there. The shield has been scattered to the side a bit further. A shield with a bull's head. The sigil of House Sionis. Corey has crumbled to her knees in this broken state of vulnerability. One that I won't say is unknown to your group, but it's definitely not something you guys are familiar with. What would Corvin be doing in this moment, thinking about it?
He would have his back face towards the party, and he would be staring down the hallway that Ariana came from.
Okay.
As far as people are welcome to inside him if they wish, but as far as the party knows, he's keeping watch.
What's your dark vision? I almost called you Rovon. Corvin. 60 feet?
Yeah, 60 feet.
Your vision goes down 60 feet, and this is a pretty sizable tunnel. But once it hits that 60 feet, it is almost pure darkness. What is your passive perception? 16, I believe?
Yes, 16.
You, down the way, you hear the sounds of... It sounds like the odd voice here and again. It doesn't sound like fighting, it just sounds like almost residual noise. It doesn't sound like soldiers calling out orders, it sounds like people.
He will make a note. He will make a mental note of that, and just continues to keep an eye out while kind of going through a lot of emotions right now. It's almost as if Corbin's kind of in some form of trance.
Okay. Without really needing to get into the details, Flit, you and the other three, Flit, Lily, Sarah, and Cage, you all managed to make your way down to the rest of your group. And it's really in this moment where the gravity of the situation takes hold for especially Lily and Sarah. Rovon is gone. He's been turned to ash. His armor is left behind, but you see that his bag, his standard bag, has been reduced also, and several of the contents have spilled out and have either remained or have also been turned to ash. It varies which remains, and a few of you would notice this sizable, beautiful bound book in the midst of this pile. Diana is quiet. Tears stream down her face as well. I can bring him back. I have to. I think. Gods, I hope. I have the means, but I lack the component. The spell is immensely powerful, but it requires a dragon's hoard worth of diamonds and holy water, and I don't have that here.
Silly question.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm probably away from the group, can I still hear this?
It depends. Are you paying attention to the conversation?
I'm sure after the silence, it would probably perk his interest.
Oops. Sorry, chat. Didn't mean to do that. I accidentally swapped the source on them.
Uh-oh.
We're fine. But yes, I would say that you would sort of... Sorry, my brain just shut down. You would kind of pushing out the voices down the way, you would begin to tune into this conversation.
Okay. We don't. He's still gonna keep an eye out, but he's not gonna really do much right now.
Okay.
As Diana is wallowing, Flit is going to approach wordlessly, kneel down in front of Diana, and catch her gaze.
She would, upon catching your gaze, she would look up to meet yours.
Still wordlessly, Flit is going to take her hand, Diana's hand, clasping it in her own, and when Flit pulls her hands back, Diana has in her hand the Prime Thunder Lotus, which can substitute for any material component.
It sure can. Flit, go ahead and remove the Prime Thunder Lotus from your inventory. Diana, upon realizing what she now has in her possession, she looks to you almost scared. And it lasts but for a moment before she begins to get to work. Gather his belongings, bring them together. I'm going to need an hour.
Gory scream.
As Diana is going to begin to undergo, with the Prime Thunder Lotus, true resurrection. Her 1 9th level spell slot. Y'all bitches are lucky I had the foresight to prepare this for her today.
Thank you.
That's what she would do.
Yeah. Makes
So,
sense.
you guys, in this moment, are going to get the benefit of a short rest. You may spend your hit die as you see fit. I am also going to implement the ruling that we had beforehand in the Shattered Future arc, where you guys were permitted to spend your hit dice for spell slots. You could do that here. However, there's a bit of a caveat to it. You must spend as much hit dice as you can to recover yourself back up to full. Once you are at full health, and only at full health, you can then start spending those additional hit dice to recover spell slots. Again, the convergence rate is 1 spell slot or 1 hit die per spell level. So if you want to get back 5 or 4 first level slots, that's 4 hit dice. If you want to get back 1 9th level spell slot, that's a 9 hit die. So on and so forth. You guys, again, can do it however you see fit, but you can only spend them on spell slots if you are at full health. Otherwise, you have to reach full health before you can do this. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just doing the math right now.
Same.
There is as the next hour begins to go by, there is a whirlpool of power, restorative magic, healing, which is technically evocation. You feel an overwhelming sense of power coursing throughout the underside of the Zorn Arena as Diana begins to undergo true resurrection, casting it upon Rovan.
Corvin would probably join at this point and play a little song of rest to help recover any remaining HP and kind of trying to ease Diana as much as he can.
Okay. Go
So,
ahead and throw up song. Thank you.
1d12.
Alrighty.
Game back 10 additional.
That's spicy. That's a good roll. Alrighty. Diana, unfortunately, because of the result of the spell, is not going to get the short rest, but she will gain that 10 hit points you just provided for her, and she will be thankful for it.
Yee.
As you guys begin to take your short rest, and Diana begins to focus all of her magics into this obscenely powerful spell she is casting. Rovan. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
I'm going to do something a little different.
Mhm.
I have music here in the Discord
Oh.
that,
Ooh.
should you choose to, you could tune in and begin to listen to. It may get scrunkly at times because Discord hates me for some reason. If it does, just let it pass. It will pass. It usually doesn't last any more than a minute or so.
All good.
Fine. Rovan, you are dead. There's no easy way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
But your soul does not... It does not meet the ferryman. Not in the way you expect. Rovan, you shoot to life. Your eyes shoot open at the sound of a gavel. The loud, thunderous crack of a gavel upon a pedestal. You quickly begin to take in the sights around you. You are in this large, expansive room. It's covered in tall white quartz columns. There are windows with beautiful drapes upon them, long, and these windows are easily 30 feet tall. They're massive. It's this huge expanding room. It's like a church that you just got put in the middle of. But there's no ceiling above as you look, and you can see a bright red sun in the midst of a tan or orange sky. You look around and you see your father. Only about 10 feet from you. He is missing his helmet, his maul. And he looks at you, and before the two of you say anything, the gavel rings out again, and a voice follows. Court is now in session. Court is now in session. The proceedings of House Sionis will now begin. Presenting our defendants, Rovan and Aegis Sionis, father and middle offspring of House Sionis. Rovan, you look up and you see that there are a set of thrones. There's also this big... The best way I could describe it, it's a judge's bench. It's a courtroom. Vaughn, you look upon this figure, and he is extravagant in the best way that I can describe. I am your acting moderator and host due to the circumstances of this case, Lord of the Nine. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Due to the circumstances of our case today, you're welcome. Acting judge, as he gestures to the admittedly higher up spot behind him, this judge's chair, but almost more of a throne. Acting judge, Charon, Lord of the Styx. And Ravan, there is this, sitting upon this figure, they're cloaked in shadow. It's hard to see any defining features, but there is a average height, cloaked figure slumped upon a throne. Enjoy the view upon my throne, my friend. It shall remain only until the end of this case. Presenting parties! As he gestures to a set of 3 thrones. These thrones are similar to that you saw before, similar to the columns in their make. They're made of this beautiful white quartz, and upon them are these, upon each throne is a orb. A hovering orb of light. One is this deep blue, almost sky blue. The other is red, and the third is... It's light, but it's black. It's hard to describe. It's a black light, but it's not a black light. It's a black that is emitting light. It is very odd. Presenting
like an eclipse light?
Yeah, you could say that. Like a solar eclipse.
Okay.
Presenting parties. The Stormlord, the Death Mother, and the World Bearer. Ravan, give me religion checks. 3 of them. Actually, just give me 1.
You got it, Chief. Considering hearing the name Stormlord Worldbearer.
You know who those are.
Yeah, can I argue advantage?
You don't need to roll for that one. Just roll for the other one. The one you're not familiar with. You're perhaps maybe not familiar with.
What was the name at least?
The Death Mother.
Death Mother. Got it. And religion. Alright. Rolling religion. Oh, that's a 12.
It's not a very high check. You're familiar with the Matron of Death. The one who whisks weary souls to the realm of death. She is the point of worship for many assassins, especially given her nature, but the residential teachings of the Death Mother are that death is a gift. Presenting parties shall be utilizing familiar vessels in their place, though I must say, as Lord of the Nine kind of leans on one arm, I much prefer these more to that of the actual thing. These suit you better. As the blue orb rumbles, his voice booms throughout the chamber, and there's a crack of lightning.
Silence, devil! This is important business. The fact that this tribunal must take place in your realm disgusts me.
And Lord of the Nine, you identify the voice as the voice of the Storm Lord, Rovan.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord of the Nine kind of recoils back a bit. Now, come now. This is Charon's show, not mine. I am merely your humble host, here to offer helpful criticism when needed. We will begin with opening statements as he sort of taps a set number of papers on the desk in front of him, bringing them closer again. Verbatim, we are here to discuss the matter of a broken pact. One built between Rovan Sionis and Aegeus Sionis. House Sionis? Gentlemen, as he sort of nods his head to you two from up above. Quoted verbatim. Neither side would speak of their relation to the other, but a day would come when both sides would meet and go at each other, quote, full blast, full strength, with nothing held back. If Rovan won, he would not bring back Bison Blackwell being Aegeus Sionis, but make sure to keep his name unblemished from his true legacy. If Bison Blackwell, or Aegeus Sionis, won, then when the war being the War of the Shattered Sun, ended and his side won, he would bring back Rovan. He could bring back Rovan back, and Rovan would swear fealty to him. This pact was sworn upon the river Styx, and was broken via interference from an outside party, an adjacent party, one Elrock Nazir, a wizard. Hate wizards. So, we will begin with opening statements. Whoever wishes to go first. And Rovan, you are immediately put on blast by the blue orb. You have had no time to process anything that's happened.
Look at you, boy. Look at what you've become.
And Rovan, you look down at yourself and you see that the last thing you remember is this overwhelming rage, murder. And you look down and you see that the markings that once lined your face and somewhat marked your body have almost wear you like a harness. They completely coat your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. You're oddly unrecognizable, even to yourself.
Look at what you've become. That is an honor. It's corruption and an unhealthy rage. Rage is a powerful tool, one that shouldn't be abused. I have put a lot of faith in you. The World Bearer and I have put aside our previous grievances for your sake and the sake of your cause. Now, though, I question whether or not you are worthy to carry our banners.
As the voice seems to settle, Lord of the Nine speaks forward. Well said, Stormlord. Death Mother, your opening statement. And the black orb speaks in this female oddly relaxed, almost calm voice. A pact that directly results in the death of another is a grievous misuse of the gift that I grant, especially when one does not understand the depths of its nature. That is nothing compared to the lengths you both have undertaken to maintain the secrecy of this pact, rather than its security. And your father, Rovan, he leans forward on the table in front of him. But our pact stated, and as he begins to speak, a set of chains bind his face, bind his mouth, and they take his hands, and he is pulled down onto his knees on the ground. And Laura the Nine, who sort of holds a burning hand up, goes, "You get one interruption while in my court, Aegis Sionis. You will have your time to speak. But for now, please be silent." The chains do not release, though, as Laura the Nine gestures to the red orb. "Well, bearer, this is your time to speak." And again, a calm voice, but masculine, echoes from this red orb. And as these orbs speak, the lights within pulse in tandem with their speech. "To carry the world and the fates of those close to you upon one's shoulders and bodies, it embodies the virtues of strength, but more importantly, patience. I can sense the good in your heart, Rovan Sionis. However, your actions, especially those of late, have been reckless." And as his statement comes to an end, Lord the Nine speaks once more. "That will do for opening statements, thank you. Now, Mr. Sionis, it seems that you... Where do we begin? Where would you like to begin?" As he gestures to you, almost giving you like the go-ahead.
Ravon's kind of feeling the pressure. It's not so much fear, but he is feeling like he definitely knows that this is something that he never thought he'd be seeing.
This is only amplified as you once again look to your father, and he is bound in chains in a state of vulnerability that you have never seen from him before.
Rovan will kind of just take a deep breath. "If it would please the court, let us start with the most current situation and work our way backwards towards the beginning."
You may proceed, Master Sionis. Rovan Sionis.
Thank you, sir. The situation that we find ourselves, that I, as well as my father, find ourselves, whether it be considered trapped or justified, which most certainly it is, considering it has warranted your attentions, noble lords and ladies of the highest courts. This situation has occurred due to the untimely demise of myself, due to the hands of one Elrak Nazim of the Blood Talons, and of course, the subsequent breaking of the oath via this action, as well as the following reclamation of my father. He kind of just motions to Bison. To Aegis.
The Stormlord speaks up.
"We know what happened, Rovan Sionis. We are well aware."
Of course. The is just a reiteration of the statement of fact, Lord. This situation goes back further since the pack's initial formation back within the storm bluffs. Of course, as you can see, we are gathered here due to the untimely demise. However, this is not the only engagement that both parties have been subjected to. Prior engagement also includes the siege of Dragon's Reach after the events of Operation Hydra, where myself as well as my compatriots, who may or may not yet still be alive, I hope alive, went upon an offensive strike force against multiple Hellfire Assembly and Blood Talon allied locations, of which resulted in major successes, but of course a horrific setback within the Siege of Dragon's Reach via the Blood Talons and Hellfire Assembly. That was the first actual main engagement after the pact had been formed. Considering my naivety at that time, I myself went forward to confront Aegis Sionis, or Bison, alone. Of course, Bison was engaging with forces that were allied to myself and my friends, making quick work of those souls. I engaged in combat, though, must admit, I myself was not at full strength due to the operation having gone on prior with Operation Hydra. Afterwards, during this combative scenario, I was assisted by the likes of Sindri and Corvo Blackwell, of which somewhat helped the playing field, though in the end, that combat scenario ended in a defeat. However, I was spared from what would have been lethality by Bison, by Aegis. For what reason, I do not know. All I understand was I was spared. From there, and afterwards, with Operation Hydra's conclusion and the Siege of Dragon's Reach coming to an end, I myself was decidedly put to train to become stronger, and that I would hopefully one day return with another engagement against my father, this time at full strength. Little did I know, this engagement would occur during the War of the Shattered Sun, upon the Siege of Zorn, where already a bit of my resources, my power, my strength had been expended during this initial siege.
Ravon, what's your passive perception? Passive perception?
I believe my passive perception is an 11.
You see up above as Lord the Nine looks like he's beginning to doze off. But you do also see off to the to the side what appears to be a method scribe on a typewriter who is very tediously keeping up with you in your regaling of events thus far.
Understood. During this siege, as previously mentioned, I had expended a bit of my magic, a bit of my physicality, a bit of my resources. Quite a bit, in fact, considering my strongest spells were unleashed. As well as a burning of divinity channeling in order to initiate and, of course, break through the main battlements. Our mission, of course, was to rescue the King of Dragon's Reach, Cedric. Upon of which we find ourselves deceived and led to a trap that would, of course, be a three-way battle royale between myself and my allies and compatriots versus... And he kind of just thinks for a bit. Against Ogon the Cerberus, Orzag, and of course, my father. Yet another ambush. Though I'm not certain as to the fate of my friends Sarah and Captain Timbers, as they were separate.
Lord
I'll
of the
engage.
Nine speaks up at this point. Oh, my dear, I'd be more concerned about your own fate at this moment than the fates of your friends. That is vastly more important in this exact moment.
I understand and will acknowledge this, Lord of the Nine. But I do ask for forgiveness, as my friends have been through quite a bit, as much as I have. Of course, this entire combative scenario led to us dealing with multiple threats that had appeared, starting with the Cerberus, moving on to Orzag, as a means of being able to whittle down the unnecessary interruptions. My father and I would go trading a few blows here and there. However, as to make sure that it would be one-on-one, I decided to attempt to remove Orzag from the board. My father, however, would engage with my friend Kore. And practically nearly kill her. This would, of course, trigger an event and cause me to lose control, of which I would engage in combat with my father, though my combat capabilities were already severely blunted due to much more resources having to be poured into dealing with the stragglers. After which, my death occurred by one Elrock Nazim, as previously mentioned. And he just bows his head. This is all information that I can recall at this time. At least from my mortal life.
Highest. I don't know why I said highest. The World Bearer speaks up. While the retelling of events, for the sake of on paper, is helpful, Master Rovan Sionis, there is still the matter of the deal itself.
the pact that must be touched on. It is not. We are aware that the result of the pact's breaking is by no course in direct action of you or your father. You're well aware of that fact. But that doesn't change the fact that it was broken. And to which it is that we must determine what is... Sorry, I lost the word.
You're fine.
It is with that we must determine what is salvageable and what is... well... And as he sort of begins, as the World Bearer's voice begins to fade, there is the voice of the Death Mother comes through. There's also a matter that we have yet to touch on, in that there were additional terms added onto this pact in post, after its formation by Rovan Sionis. Rovan, you don't know what she's talking about.
Rovan
And
would,
your father looks at you confused.
Rovan would like to make motion appropriately to speak. My lady, if you could be so kind to the court as well as myself and my father, what do you mean?
We will get to that in a moment. There are still other matters that we must touch on, like the nature of the pact itself. But don't worry, we will touch on that. Yes, Lord of the Nine speaks up once more. Let's touch into the matter of the pact itself. So, let's first address the fact that this pact was sworn upon the River Styx. Quite a big deal, if I must say so myself. And there is a bit of an aura emanating from the figure that you still don't quite see, but you know to be Charon up above. Charon seems to agree. And the Stormlord speaks up, again, his voice booming throughout this chamber.
Do either of you understand what the River Styx is? What it does? It doesn't whisk the dead to the afterlife. That's Charon's job. The River Styx is much more than that. It doesn't simply carry. It connects the 9 layers of the hells. And even more than that, it unmakes. The sediment that lines its basin is composed of the memories of those who've graced its waters. To swear upon the River Styx is to swear upon a result greater than death.
Ron, it's kind of hitting you at this moment of, oh.
Got it.
The Death Mother speaks up again. Those cascaded into the River Styx are thusly wiped from existence, their memories and thus their history subjected to a materialization. A sediment, if you will, one that, well, accumulates as the river's basin.
Ravon nods.
Your thoughts on this, Mr. Sionis? Says the Lord of the Nine. Were you previously aware as to this nature of the River Styx?
I must ask for the court's forgiveness as all knowledge upon the river Styx is in the mortal realms bifurcated by conflicting hearsay. Well, I have heard mention of some of these. It has been conflagrated due to conflicting information.
The World Bearer speaks up. You state that the information on the River Styx is hearsay, that it is conflicting information, but did you really ever undertake studying it? Have you ever once perhaps asked your friend, a Diana LeBlanc, one who is relatively, well, dare I say, well versed in matters of religious order, about perhaps its value, its worth, its purpose? Rovan, you sure did not.
Rovan will be honest, and he will look to the lords and lady and say, I will be completely transparent, lords and lady, I have not. And thus I must apologize for such ignorance, especially considering much of the information about much more of the divine side of things are also kept in conflict, with many arguing that some of you, as he politely gestures to each of the to the panel judges, as well as to politely bowing as well as gesturing to Charon and the Lord of the Nine, that in the mortal realm, even your existences are, well, conflicted due to different reports. I can confirm that many believe that some of you have already passed on or reincarnated into different entities. And thus, I beg for your forgiveness upon this information.
You would swear an oath upon something you do not fully understand, says the Death Mother. Do you realize how foolish that sounds?
I understand, and thus I must be honest and present this information to you.
There's a quiet that emanates throughout this chamber. Moving on to the next matter, let's touch on a previously mentioned power that you undertook. You said you lost control, Rovan Sionis. Let's talk about that for a moment. That, dare I say, that was something unrecognizable to the nature of what you seem to believe you are. We have witness testimony is not the correct term, but we have testimony regardless. Ravan, the spirit of Raikiri takes the metaphorical stand. And Raikiri, who was once beautiful, bright, endearing, is now... It's hard to describe. It's not quite dark, but almost damaged. I have remained at your side now for quite some time, as the spirit speaks to you. What you are now is not the man I swore to fight beside. Ravan, you look down at your hands again, your dark markings. Frankly, what you are now frightens me.
Ravon will look genuinely saddened.
I have never seen such. They pause for a moment. I have seen the goodness in you. I have seen your willingness and your devotion to others. I have seen your desire to help those around you. But this was stark. This wasn't you. The World Bearer, the Lord of the Nine speaks up. You've remained quiet for a few moments, World Bearer. Have you any thoughts? The World Bearer thinks for a few moments. There's a emanating quiet that courses throughout the room.
House Sionis has long followed the ways of the World Bearer. For generations, I believe it is time your house looked back on those teachings.
To which Lord of the Nine goes, well said. We will, I believe, now touch on the matter that Lady Deathmother spoke of. These additional terms that were added in post to this pact. Do you wish to elaborate as to these, Ravon? Ravon Sionis.
Ravon will actually look to the Lord of the Nine and go, as previously mentioned, Lord of Nine, and I speak with whole honesty, and you may search my soul. I have no idea what you are talking about.
There is a quiet, again, that emanates throughout the chamber. The Death Mother speaks up. I believe him. There is, due to the nature of the additional terms of the pact, Ravon he was once aware of them, but now is not. The World Bearer speaks up.
In what manner do you speak, Death Mother?
May I present a subject to the cult, Lord of the Nine? To which Lord of the Nine goes, oh, ma'am, please, this is Caron's show. Hey, you may do what you wish. Right, Caron? To which there is another emanating presence that echoes throughout the chamber. Caron approves. You may proceed. And Ravon, you see appearing on the stand this tall, to say it's a humanoid is not completely accurate. It's a humanoid shaped individual, but they're made of this dark smoke. Their limbs and hands barely resemble that of what you would normally associate with them, with that of the standard humanoid. They are well dressed in this very fine suit, as you recognize the figure of Archivar take the stand.
Okay, I was about to ask, due to the nature of the deal, I know I don't remember making the deal with Archivar, but I do remember.
You do remember Archivar. And as you see him, I'm gonna need a wisdom save.
Okay. Got it, Chief. That's a natural one.
That sure is. That sure is. Boy, that sure is, huh?
Yeah.
Rovan, you feel this immense pressure. It is like something in you snaps. It is easily the worst migraine you have ever experienced in your life. You, my friend, are going to take a point of exhaustion as you
Got it.
buckle forward. And I know that's hard to say considering you technically aren't alive. Just hold on to that, okay? Smile.
Understood. By the way, Tart, above game, you're coming in a little scrunkly.
I'm coming in. Am I coming in a little scrunkly, or the music is?
You. It kind of acts like the music's actually coming in fine. It's just sometimes your voice kind of goes, and just for like a few seconds.
Does anyone else hear this?
I
To be
haven't.
fair, I have not, no.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I was
No, it's okay.
responding to things. I'm sorry.
My apologies for the detraction from the scene
Yeah.
right now. I just was like, okay, maybe if his is in my end or your end. I didn't know, or just
Others.
Discord in general.
Yeah, it sounds fine on my end too.
Nodders. As Arkavar begins to speak, you remember him as being well composed, Rovan, but as he speaks now, he seems almost frightened. This is wrong. He kind of looks down at his hands, and the weird wisp-like nature begins to emanate off him. I shouldn't be here. I can't be here. I can't sense the dream. This is impossible. This is impossible. And the Death Mother, who has made her way over to Arkavar, goes, "Silence yourself, charlatan. You know for what purpose you are here." To which there's this momentary calm that seems to come over Arkavar. Yes. The deal that I made with young Rovan Sionis, I would strike away the happy memories of his childhood, specifically those involving his father, Aegis Sionis. Even more so, I added the caveat that our conversation relating to our deal be struck from his memory, though I suspect that his comrades have likely caught wind of our deal by now if they weren't aware to begin with. And Rovan, you just rolled that one a minute ago, and I went over this whole thing about how it feels like something in you snaps. Rovan, at an already low point for you, the dam bursts. It is like some wall inside your psyche breaks down and lets loose this flood of memories. Memories involving you and your father, and it's painful. Go ahead, and I need another wisdom save.
Yeah. That's a 17.
You manage to hold it together to the best of your ability, but this is immense. It is overwhelming. You don't take any negative effects, but you definitely feel the effects of what is currently occurring.
Ravon, in pain, kind of raises his hand up for a moment to be like, to get the attention of the court. Like, in class, raising hand.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna do that while gripping his skull that is basically getting thumped like a fucking sledgehammer.
Ravon, as you're doing this, your gaze moves over to your father. And your father, his expression, his composure before was that of worry, of stress, but now it's almost like he doesn't recognize you. Lord of the Nine looks to you and goes, "Yes, Ravon Sionis, you may proceed."
If it would please the court. I am currently going through a lot of mental pain right now. Is there a reprieve that can be temporarily given? As he kind of grips his head again with the other hand now.
There is a quiet moment, and then a aura that emanates throughout the chamber that almost seems to relieve your pain, the pressure upon your body, upon your mind. The World Bearer speaks up. "That should relieve the symptoms that you are currently experiencing. We need you coherent for what is currently occurring."
Thank you, Lord.
The Death Mother turns back to Archivar and goes, "Is that all in regards to the additional terms of the pact that has been made?" Yes. Yes, that is the only conclusion, the only arrangement that we came to. Very well, Dealmaker. You have done well. Return to your dream now. To which Archivar melts into the floor, into this billowing cloud of darkness, and is gone. The Stormlord speaks up.
You utter fool! You would add terms without consultation on a matter such as this.
Is
Ravon,
this open floor?
It is open floor. You also do look to your father again and see that he has slouched completely. He has given up on trying to resist what is currently happening.
To the lords and ladies of the court, I did not know that would be slapped upon the oath. I speak with honest heart. I did not know that would affect the oath.
But you knew that mending your own status would in turn affect the outcome of your pact, did you not? Was that not your intention? To revoke your emotional attachment to your father in terms of having a... advantage is not the word to say, but to make sure you had to do what was to be done.
Ravon actually has to think about that.
Ravon, you remember the conversation with Archivar now. You remember everything that you had lost, and you will remember that you were the one who proposed the deal. Now, you and I didn't above game go as to the reasoning for this. I will leave that up to your justification, but I think you and I both have an inkling.
I do not know. The primary reason I gave up any memory was in turn as to ensure that my group was to secure the breastplate of Muldoon safely, without conflict, as to ensure that the web of Erebus was not destroyed or revoked.
Yes, speaking of your comrades, let's touch on that for a moment, speaks the Lord of the Nine. We are vastly running out of time, and we will have to reach a judgment soon, so let us touch on the next subject. Your comrades, both sides of this... Comrades on both sides of this familial dispute, one in terms of you and the other in terms of your father, have learned the truth of your relationship on their own. At least that much of this pact remains unbroken. However, the introduction of this new adjacent pact now leads to much more deliberation, like the fact that it seems that your friends were made aware as to this deal that you made, or at least had some sort of inkling on it. To which the Stormlord, to which the World Bearer goes, "We are getting off topic now." No, well, you're right, I will keep my mouth shut. It is not my place. I'm merely a host, as one is to say. But Rovan, his words kind of haunt you for a moment. You begin to think of some of the awkward moments you shared with your friends, moments where they could have told you and they chose not to. Your reaction to this information, Rovan's reaction to this information, I would leave up to you, but is a revelation that Rovan has.
Understood. It's an uncertain face that Rovan currently possesses. He's basically... He's kind of self-doubting himself now, considering there is a flood of memories, and he's thinking about those situations.
We'll move on to, I believe, our final matter. Mr. Aegis Sionis. It is now your turn to speak. As the chains are released from Aegis and he quietly stands up. He doesn't look to you, Rovan. My son and I are Sionis men. We stand by our word. Had we known this would happen, we would have found a way to prevent it. To which Lord of the Nine speaks, "But you didn't, and that is why you're here now." To which Aegis says, "Perhaps, but there is now something you all are." Rovan, my son, is touched on, but it seems that the rest of you have not. It's almost as if you're ignoring it. To which the Stormlord goes, "Watch yourself, Elder Sionis." To which Aegis simply puts up a hand. "The exact wording of our pact and the subsequent breaking of it implies that both of us were at full strength. However, my son had to face hordes of men for us to even meet. I'd say that caveat nary should put our pact in jeopardy. If anything, I would ask to receive due punishment for indulging in taking advantage." To which the World Bearer goes, "I believe we are past the point of penance, Pact Bearer." To which your father goes, "Yes, perhaps we are. But if the matter of this court is to defend ourselves regarding the matter of our pact being broken. It was a no fault due to us. We have done our best to uphold our pact as we have always done, even if my son has resorted to unfamiliar measures. But regardless, and he kind of gets quiet for a moment. Regardless, I would ask that pity be taken. To which the Stormlord goes, pity. Pity on a pact bearer. A pact bearer who has betrayed every essence of what they are. To which your father goes, pity for two broken men. And there's again a resounding silence. The Lord of the Nine speaks up after a few moments. Well, can't argue with that logic, I suppose. Mr. Ravansionis, you've been quiet. Have you any last thoughts you wish to add to the court? Any last pleads before we reach judgment?
I do, Your Honor. And Ravan looks. We are here today because to you, who are gods, beings who are higher, who see a broader spectrum than either of us could ever. You see two individuals who haphazardly made a pact, believing that we foolishly made it and that we had no intention to keep it. But as my father said, we do keep our pacts, we do keep our oaths, even if we are misguided. And Ravan kind of looks at Aegis like father, like son. But it is true, we do keep our oaths. There is even proof of a different time where I would keep my oath, even when I was to be killed. You are familiar with our adventures, yes? You are familiar, you know, you see far ahead in time itself. Correct?
There is a quiet, almost to seemingly to let you proceed.
Disclose to the court adventure that we partook within the Feywilds. It led to revelations being made. It showed what would have happened had things progressed as normal. In it, the pact was upheld, I was felled, and I would serve my father. That alone, to bear witness to it myself, showcases that I held true to my end, that my father would hold to his end. I understand we are but mortals. We merely exist for the briefest flicker of a candle light until we are snuffed out. Whereas you will last forever. You do not war against one another, take over domain. I plead your forgiveness and I plead your mercy on our souls. Yes, we have done many a stupid thing. But you know full well, you can see it in our very soul. We are men of our word and honor. And Ravon will look to the court and he will ask if I may show what I know.
Proceed, Ravon Sionis.
It is at that moment Ravon will like to cast, if it is still possible, in this afterlife, Minor Illusion, and show the entire events of the Dark Timeline.
It does play at a very, very quick accelerated, at a very, very accelerated speed, given the nature of you, well, actually running out of time, but it still goes at a pace that, well, divine beings seem to understand.
As it comes to an end, Ravon goes, we hold to our oaths and our bonds. But we also understand what is to come, what may come. And considering the events that could occur, for the sake of universal balance, I ask that you give mercy to us. To at least the suffering that my father and I deal with. We are foolish men, but we also understand the greater good, the greater scenario, the horror that is to come, the ungodly future. I beg of you.
Any other final words from our presenting parties? There's quiet for a few moments before the World Bearer speaks. I have but one question. Ravon Sionis, answer me a simple question. Who are you? Who is Ravon Sionis?
Ravon thinks about everything. And he's going to echo. No. He's going to take heed of every lesson that he has learned. Every talk, everything. Up until now. And a familiar scenario plays in his head. I am Ravon Sionis, son of a man who tries his best for his family. I am a man who puts the good of others before the good of his own. I am a man who puts sword and shield and spear to safeguard a world that is always in need. I am a man who will willingly throw his life down if it preserves a future for others. I am a flawed man. I am brash. I am foolish. I am a man who has faltered before. But I am a man who has risen from those faults. I am a man who stands as a pillar to hold the weight of the world coming down upon those who cannot themselves hold it. I am a man who will give everything that he has. Life, blood, sweat, tears, even my soul, to ensure that the world remains. To ensure that there is still a chance at a brighter future. Through the crack of thunder, the flash of lightning, the quaking of earth, I am the mountain that is unmoving.
Rovan, as you speak, there is a chime that rings through the air, like that of a doorbell. Ah. And with that now out of the way, brings a tear to the eye. It would seem we are out of time. We must cast judgment. I will leave you, Mas Rovan Sionis, for a moment, as Charon needs to deliberate on, and there is a new voice that comes forward. I had reached my decision before this tribunal had even begun. As the figure known as Charon leans forward and comes into the light, and a scene proper. Both Sionis men are to remain unpunished on this matter of their pact by my hand. Rovan Sionis as the one who had perished. This tribunal was merely to see if you could reforge the favor that the Divine shared in you. I believe you have done that, but that is not my decision to make. I am merely a calming voice to carry the weary souls to rest. You are beckoned back by those who would also have faith in you. Go. For your sake, I hope your heart remains as true as you believe it to be, and that your gods take pity. But be not mistaken. Nary a mortal creature can escape fate. Should either of you die before the pact you have forged is fulfilled, your soul will be cast into the river Styx, and thusly wiped from history. Any reply to this, Rovan?
Rovan will acknowledge. I thank the court. I thank you, Lord Charon. I thank you, Lord of Nine. I thank you, Earthship. I thank you, World Bearer, Stormlord, Death Mother. We will hold this. If it pleases the court. And he looks to his father. We would only ask when shall we end this? When shall we partake this pack? How best should we do this as to honor the oath?
Your father does not have an answer. It seems you both have matters to discuss
back in your realm. Return now. Court is adjourned. Ugh. I was hoping for a bit more eternal torment by being eaten alive by birds or chained to a rock. Not my show, unfortunately. Rovan, Aegeus Sionis, upon decree by your Judge Charon, yada yada yada, I return you back to where you once came, yada yada yada, goodbye. And the Lord of Night points at you, and you both vanish in a flicker of flame that takes both of your forms entirely. As the 1 hour passes, as the true resurrection spell completes. That's where we're going to take our break.
Round 2, Bison!
Hey, how do y'all like Hellcourt?
I wanted to fucking strangle the Lord of the Nine, that nagging bitch.
Okay, but let's be real. Let's be real.
Chiron's hot.
This is like this.
I mean, yes.
Sorry.
Chiron is part of the like the Chthonian side of the gods, so really it's Night Court.
Ichi, you have no idea how much I was thinking Night Courts.
Nyx Court?
Yes!
Nyx Court!
There's a reason why this episode was named Tribunal.
Yeah.
Anyways, now that that is done, by the way, that was just over an hour in-game, by the way. I tried to time this so it would be exactly an hour with a little bit of leeway because of the fact that, obviously, I have to do, like, descriptions and everything, so that eats into the hour time, but we'll be back in just a moment, everyone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, hello, hello. We've returned.
Oh my god. I've been holding my breath the entire time.
The entire time? Damn. How are you alive?
Lungs of steel, baby!
His name is Guybrush Threepwood.
Let's get back into it. Back in the Prime material, over the course of the last hour, Diana has been heavily focused on the results, the completion of this true resurrection spell that she has been casting. As it has gone along, you all have watched as the piles of ash have slowly begun to reform into the whole person that is Rovan Sionis. Now, lacking the rather significant markings that turned your once beloved friend into some almost animalistic brute. And as the figure comes together, as the body forms and coalesces, you all begin to make your way around for the end of this ritual, encircling your friend Rovan. Diana takes the Prime Thunder Lotus out of its casing. The casing disperses almost like that of a bubble. And she slowly lowers it down to where Rovan's heart would be. She takes a tight hold of it, and you watch as the Thunder Lotus lets out this rumbling aura as it fades into a wisp of light that seems to melt down into Rovan's chest. Rovan, you didn't think you were getting away that easy, did you?
Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in. Gabagooly!
I have to make a very important roll. Let's see if I wasted the last hour. Just like that, as this light fades into Rovan's chest, Rovan, where most people, there is a sense of shock, of shooting back to life that you guys have seen a number of times. You don't do this. Your chest slowly begins to rise and fall. Your eyes open to the bright sun above in the Zorn City sky. You're surrounded by friends as you have returned back to life.
Seeing everything, Rovan's gonna sit up, and the first thing he's gonna do is. Oh, holy shit!
Diana seems relieved, but at the same time at a loss of words as she just slowly brings her hands up to her mouth. Her eyes begin to well up. What about the rest of you?
Sarah's tackle hugging Rovan right away.
Holding on to, yeah, dog pile.
Corvin is kind of joining Diana in the exasperated expressions.
Lily's joining the dog pile.
What about Flip?
Flit, he's surprisingly stoic.
Hello, everyone. Ow, my ribs. Good to see you all back. Boy, do I have a story for you.
Rovan, you have, due to the preparation of your party, you do return back. We don't make you naked upon returning back to the material plane.
Thank you!
You are in your armor once again. Your
Thank you, it was about to
materials are, or your items and other belongings, however, have been set off adjacent to you, but out of the way as to not interfere with the ritual itself. And
Oh.
go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
As you look to them, as you kind of look past your friends towards your belongings, you look even further past that. Ron, ways away where you last saw him. That's not what I wanted. Ways away, standing in the chamber like you saw, like he was when you were killed, stands your father. His hammer, his maul in one hand, his helmet in the other, and he's just looking away. His back is to you.
That's right. You're back, too.
It is in that moment that the rest of you begin to take notice of the return of Bison, who, from the last you all saw, was... he had been pulled away to somewhere. You're not entirely sure where.
I imagine upon seeing Bison return, Flit will immediately go into threat mode and pull out like a produced flame ready to fire.
I want to kick him in the dick.
Hold. Please. Hold.
You can physically grab her. Because you're going to have to.
He will quite literally grab Cora and be like, Don't kick him in the... Actually, I don't know where you would hit him. But... now's not the time. We just got back from a... court.
Kind of raising out of his moment, he'd say, I'm sorry?
Long story short, there is an underworld. There is a court. The gods are quite real. Diana, I have much to confer with you. There was about 5 of them that we got to meet. Also, Archivar was there.
What? Archivar?
Why would... Oh.
Diana's
Ravon.
gaze immediately meets yours.
Ravon, why was Archivar there?
Because I did something very stupid.
As you do.
Something I'm at least glad that you all prevented me from learning about. Ergo, reneging the deal.
Lynn crosses her arms. Something to talk about later, then.
Yes. Much.
What about him? Gestures to Bison.
Bison stands there for a moment, seemingly listening to your conversation. And then he points down the way of the tunnel. With his maul.
There's a large number of civilians held in this place down that way. I suggest you go and release them while you have the chance.
That explains the noises I heard down that way. But that's also where Ariana fled to. Or should I say, Ariana piloted by Elrock.
If you keep going, it will take you to the castle. I can only presume that is where she has gone.
What of you? We have our mission, but what are you here for now?
He holds his helmet and he slowly puts it back on his head.
My mission here is over.
And he begins to walk down the tunnel.
Ravon will yell out, Bison.
He'll stop. He won't look to you, but he will stop.
We will have to have that fulfillment, and I plan on fulfilling it. The oath will be fulfilled. But I want you to really think about everything. Everything that was said down there. Everything that you have done. Everything we have done. It could have happened on either side, but it was your side that pulled the trigger. And judging from the lack of Ariana, understand that the side you fight for, they tossed you. You've made your peace with a number of things. But understand, they were willing to toss away the honor that you built for them. Just so you could fulfill work. You
What of
saw-
you Rovan Sionis, what are you willing to throw away to ensure that our pact is fulfilled?
Ravon, there has never been a more "Dad, I'm disappointed in you" than in this exact moment.
I'm willing to throw away the foolish notions that I thought would weigh me down. I'm willing to throw away the arrogance that I so blindly created in my own heart and mind. I don't hate you. You did what you had to do. But understand this. The side you fight for. Really rethink everything that you fight for. Your comrades willingly threw your honor to the side. Whereas mine brought me back. They pulled me from the abyss, where they were willing to throw you into it.
He will wait for you to finish. The pact stands strong. You and I will see each other again soon.
That we shall.
And he walks down into the darkness, out of sight, and is gone. Ravon, there is a additional figure in this chamber now in Cage, who was not here at present when you last remembered.
Oh, hi, Gage. When did you get here?
Never mind that. Fuck, man. You fucking died.
Which,
Yeah,
by
that's
the
my
way,
shit.
Rovon, you are back at 1 hit point.
Yeah, yeah, Ravon looks like absolute fucking shit. He's going to look at Cage and go, oh yeah, second time dying. First time ever being disintegrated. I would not recommend.
More than that, Rovon, that point of exhaustion from before does carry over to now.
Copy. He is going to look a little haggard and just goes, so, what did I miss?
Sarah just kind of raises a hand. Third time here.
Oh shit, you died too? What did you
How?
see?
Lily will mutter under her breath, Oz.
You really need to figure out a way to stop him.
Well, based on what you told me, it sounds like he's going to be gone at least for the rest of this. So it sounds like you've got at least a bit of time.
Fuck, I should have asked how to keep him permanently dead when I was talking to the Death Mother. Fuck.
Ravon,
Hello. Yes? What
Yes.
is it, Gorgon?
remember when you said don't say... It's... Don't say anything stupid for the rest of the day. Please.
Okay. Just gives a thumbs up.
We still have a job to do. We have to find Cedric. We have to put an end to this war. The longer that we tarry here, the more people are dying and the more that it slips away from us. Flit's gonna walk on over to Rovan, and she's going to start casting Aura of Vitality. On your feet.
Ravon will get up. Flit, I have a question.
Yes.
Would you mind Ravon pulling Flit in close for something?
Sure.
I thank you. He will whisper it very quietly next to Flit's ear. I thank you. I did not know that you were one of the few that knew about it. And I am terribly sorry I burdened you with that horrible purpose. I know it is more than likely worthless to say. But there is nothing I could do that could repay you for what you have done for me.
Flit takes a moment and does a deep, deep inhale. Anything for a friend.
While they're talking, Corin will just kind of whisper, mumble towards Diana. I just want to say thank you for bringing him back.
I mean, somebody had to do it, right?
I just... Yes, and both Diana and Corin, whomever's hearing what we'll hear him say, I just didn't want to lose another brother, as he kind of goes towards the hallway.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, my heart, my sweet DM heart. Joe, do you have inspiration?
I do.
Go ahead and take another for free.
Oh, thank you. Also, I'll be right back. I gotta go pick up my kid.
Yeah, please. He left us with that bombshell and ran. What the fuck?
It's like a ninja vanish, but drama vanish.
Yeah, holy fuck. Diana looks down at her hands, and the energy from the true resurrection is still emanating off her, almost like glitter. Cora, you have had a whole hour to think about it. You still don't know what exactly happened to Diana during the fight with Orzag. She was overcome by some massive magnitude of power. It's kind of... There's been a lot going on with Rovan and Sarah's death and everything, but that has somewhat haunted your mind a bit since everything sort of went down. All right, good talk, Corey.
Alright, hold on. I was trying to make a quip in the chat, alright? Because Corey knew it was like, hey, you could buy Corey
You can be
food.
funny later!
Sorry! Corey's gonna take Diana's hand and just look at it and her. You know what that was? I sure don't.
I wish I had a good explanation. I wish I completely understood what happened to me.
I didn't really have time to process it after, everything.
There was a lot going on.
I remember Orzag. I remember it was dark, but there was fire all around. I could feel the power forcing me against my will, but more than that, it was like I could see it. I could see and feel this great burning eye looking at me, looking through me. I could feel its power and presence, and it was overwhelming and horrifying, but then it was cast away, expelled by this great blinding light. It was like I was standing on the very surface of the sun. It was peaceful. I remember there was a large quadrupedal figure. She had feathered wings like an angel. She spoke to me in a language I didn't know, but it was like I could still understand her. And there was this great warmth that came over me, this overwhelming power, and it's at that moment that she almost realizes something, and she quickly dives into her bag and pulls out a simple leather-bound book. One that is none of you in the party would recognize. It doesn't seem like Diana quite recognizes it either. She recognizes it in this moment as if she was looking for it, but it's like she doesn't know what it is. She gave this to me. Said that this would come to be my purpose.
Who, your mom?
No, the figure I saw. Whoever it was. Whoever she was. Diana hesitates for a moment before slowly opening this book.
Has another god taken interest in you?
And her words kind of fail her as she begins to go over this book. It's not a huge book. It's like I said before, it's simple in its make. It's nothing extravagant, but she begins to flip from one page to another at seemingly increased rate. Anyone who would look inside this book, it is in some undecipherable language. Those who speak Celestial see that it has hints of it in it. But that's the
Catch
best.
like every 100th word.
Yeah.
Or 50th words like that. Yeah.
Anyone who speaks Celestial, and I'll throw Diana in this, feel free to make me a... Give me just a general wisdom check.
Wisdom
that?
check?
That's a good roll for Diana. Yeah. If you speak Celestial.
I do.
Soft 20.
That's a 3. Makes sense with the disadvantage.
It is, as far as you could tell initially, it is a very, very old, very, very ancient dialect with hints of Celestial, but you're not entirely sure that it is Celestial. It's not... It doesn't make sense, if that makes sense. It's almost like reading... It's almost like reading Celestial translated into different languages 3 times and then put backwards.
Oh god, it's broken and in the wrong order.
Yeah. So, like, you get...
Kind
like,
of
those
ye
of you
old
who speak Celestial...
is this, Diana? What do you have?
I don't know. More so, I don't exactly know what happened. I mean, that just... I have this very powerful ability to reach out to the gods for direct assistance should I choose, and that this feels like what that was, but I didn't do that. It's almost like it just happened. I have so many questions.
Bucky, I think I have my legend lore for the day.
With all due respect, I don't think we have time.
No, another time.
Another time. Even more so, getting to a more direct thing, I'm at a bit of a loss for words because Locate Creature should have brought us to Cedric, but that was an illusion, right? Locate Creature, as far as I know, doesn't detect illusions. So either that was Cedric or that was...
ears are gonna droop.
Well, that was some very elaborate, powerful casting variation on it.
Are we... He was back where Lily and Sarah were, weren't they? Originally.
He was up there. Though Flit specifically noticed that when the floor gave way, the illusion that made Cedric's form did dissipate. Flit did confirm that was some sort of illusion.
See, I was gonna say maybe they used a body part as a means for it. Just because, well, warlords tend to mutilate people.
Do you want to make an Arcana check?
Yes.
Go ahead, make an Arcana check. I'll open the floor to anyone.
I'll do it.
6.
Flit, I'll give you advantage because you saw it. You were basically on it. And you know it was illusion magic.
19.
19. I'm gonna give this to Diana as well. Flit. Diana would get this as well. Sorry, Lily.
No, it makes sense.
Flit.
Okay. I don't even know it.
There is a very powerful illusion spell called Simulacrum. One that allows you to make a 1-for-1 illusory duplicate that lasts for a significant amount of time, and it is insanely powerful magic. Above game, that's a 7th level spell. It could be possible that, in fact, the more you think about it, it makes sense that maybe Locate Creature doesn't rule out simulacrums.
As Diana is pondering, flip the pipe up. That was definitely an illusion, but there are strong illusion spells that could feasibly deceive a location spell like that. One that jumps to mind basically just remakes a person.
Simulacrum? I suppose that would make sense. I can't envision any other option, frankly. But there's a simulacrum here. Cedric should be close by. Unfortunately, I think if there's only one other place he could really be, that's likely the castle.
It seems our goals coincide once more. Castle to defeat Skull and to save Cedric.
We are gonna own his goddamn kingdom by the end of this, Diana, I swear. And she just, her eyes are just closed and her head's like hanging in. She's gotta go! She's just not looking forward to getting her ass beat again. After nearly dying again. Briefly dying again. Everyone is so beat up and tired. I'm so sad for everyone. I'm sorry!
I need to take a moment to recover. I haven't really had a moment to catch my breath. And she is going to cast a 4th level Cure Wounds upon herself. She's going to get back some insane hit points. Yeah. Wow, get fucked. That was terrible.
I thought we were out of combat.
It is out of combat, but I rolled it anyway. It was terrible.
Yeah.
She's gonna get back. I need to do some math. Hold on. So 48 plus 5, 37. Plus, this is where it gets weird. Plus 6 plus an additional 6 for what?
37 plus 12, so that's 49.
49. That brings her back up to almost full. Okay, that's better. Ravon, your father mentioned that there were prisoners held down this way. I mean, we have to help them, right? We can't just leave them.
We do. It would be... It's the best we... who knows? Maybe even Cedric will be among them. But even if he isn't, they are prisoners here.
It'd be
They
good
needed
to free
help.
them.
Flit, having finished her Aura of Vitality on Ravon, which, by the way, Ravon, enjoy 120 health.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Nice.
Flit is going to take off down the tunnel. And she's going to put out Produce Flame, because she does not have dark vision.
Understandable. Do the rest of you follow?
Yeah.
Yep. And gonna expend all my lay on hands to get back to full health, or close enough.
Corey's gonna give Diana a squeeze and then run.
Okay. We change our music. As you all move down this tunnel that Ariana, Silverstone, and Aegis Scion has both disappeared down, you all begin to pick up on the sounds of voices. You hear the sounds of the occasional child cry. You hear idle distress conversation. And a few of you would hear a voice specifically call out, "There's a light. Someone's coming." And as your group enters into a large chamber lined with cages up against the wall, sizable like holding cells, you see a number of people begin to look your way, and in these holding cells there are hundreds of people all crammed into what would be otherwise a sizable holding cell if it was maybe a couple dozen, but these are hundreds of people. It is tight, it's cramped. Some people have to stand just to make room. There is near the front, near the front of the cage, there is a older half-elf man. He has short, wavy black hair and almond brown eyes. He's got silky reddish skin. He's not overly tall, maybe about... In fact, he's probably on the shorter side, maybe about 5'6", 5'7", but his build is muscular. Seeing your group, he's better dressed than most of the other people here. Seeing your group, he calls out, "Oh, please, you have to help us."
Easy, easy, friends. We don't need to overexert one's own energy.
You don't understand. People in here are sick, are dying. You have to let us out. There are children here.
Just answer my question real fast, and we will do what we can. Is there anybody among you, about... I don't have time for this. And he'll do like a minor image of Cedric.
He looks over the facsimile of Cedric. Oh, that's King Aragon. No, he's not here amongst our numbers. They've taken him to the castle. From the sounds of it, it sounds like they were taking him to Skull.
That appears to be right. Okay. Alright, how do we get you, every single one of you out of here then?
Is Cage nearby?
Cage is nearby, and Cage is looking upon all these poor, lost, and broken souls, and he is just... He's not distressed, but he seems hollow at this moment. And then he looks to the man that you're speaking with.
Barda? Barda Ridingham. Lord Stoneheart.
Cage will begin to approach you, Corvin, and the man.
Well, I must be honest, I'm a bit surprised to see you alive, Barda.
It hasn't been easy. I've been trying to do what I can.
I expect nothing less.
I assume he's somebody of importance, my liege.
You are in the presence of Barda Ridingham.
I spelled the name wrong. The last name wrong.
You're in the presence of Barda Ridingham. Zorn Trademaster. He handles all the trade between Zorn and the other colonies. Or at least, he was.
I assume the position is going to be open momentarily, but... how are we going to get everyone out, is the question.
Honestly, I don't think going out is the best way. I can send men down here to safely escort you all out, but I suggest that we can open these cages, but I suggest that you all remain under here until a time that the coast is clear. Until a time that the fighting has died down.
Yes, currently the Asterios army is fighting the Shattered Sun orcs.
We've been able to hear the fighting up here. People are scared.
Funnily enough, I think this is the safest place for you at the moment.
I agree.
Even so, I agree that this is probably the safest place. There's no problem with opening the locks and letting them spread out a bit, is there? Maybe into some of the other cells, and if all things go horribly, at least they have some chance of escape.
I'll get my men holding fort above to come down and watch over these people. Some protection is better than none. We'll also spare any water and rations that we have at our current availability, though it might not be much.
Barda speaks up. We'll take anything you can get. Anything you can give.
Alright.
Let's start getting these cages open. And I won't have y'all roll checks. It takes a little bit of time over the course of maybe the next 15 minutes. You all, especially Sarah and Cage specifically, will begin to get to work in opening up these cages. You guys don't have keys to these chambers, so You do have to resort to lockpicking tools. Yes, Corey, you can absolutely do that. As these
How many people are there?
there are hundreds, thousands.
Oh, God.
You can give those out, but I mean, it's only going to do so much.
Yeah, I've only got 30. I mean, I can give 3 first level spell slots, but
Yeah.
if we really want me to, yeah. That's 30 people.
It's better than nothing.
Congratulations, you're fed.
You
for a
actually,
day,
Corey,
go.
if you want, you could prioritize the people who are
That's probably who
worse
she
for
would,
wear, and more specifically the children, because there
oldest,
are
Most
children.
emaciated looking.
Absolutely.
Emaciated, yes.
But as these doors begin to come undone, these people begin to flood outwards into this chamber. You see that like he said, there are, like Barda said, there are sick people, there's children, there's people who are starving. Some you can presume haven't had water in days. It is not a nice or healthy picture, but it is a picture of people who are alive. Who, you guys have been able to help. Does anyone else want to do anything to help out these folks?
I don't think I really have anything other than just like major, medicine checks and the occasional ration, but I don't really have any like spells or anything that would really help in this scenario. So can I do some medicine, I guess?
Sure. I'll allow a medicine check.
If anyone's needing water, I could use the alchemy jug and just like keep people hydrated.
Absolutely. Water would be an immense help to these people.
Was a 30 get me?
You are able to heal some of the most grievous individuals here. You're not able to get everyone because obviously you don't have the time to hang around, but you make a massive difference in making sure that some of the people who are the worst off have a fighting chance. Anyone else? Sorry, Flick, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think that's the extent of what Flick can do. She didn't take a lot of heal the sick spells today.
I got nothing.
Okay. Diana will assist you in trying to heal those who are in the most need, Flit. And the two of you working together goes a long way. The efforts that all of you put forth goes a massive amount of distance. This is a large chunk of the populace. And like I said before, they now have a fighting chance.
I can really hope for, I suppose.
Now we have a choice. Based on what Bison, I think his name was, what he said, we can either continue this way and head to the castle, maybe get a jump on
Hello?
Sorry. We could I had a blank moment. We could
possibly catch Skull with his pants down, or we could go back up, we could rejoin with our forces and make a full attack on the front.
above game, you guys do recall that Zarek did want you to guys to come back up and meet with him again. At the front of the castle.
Above game. Is that... Wait, was that request with Cedric in tow, or was that, like, in general?
Well, you were supposed to get Cedric out via Theon, which if you guys want, you still could give a message to Theon letting him know that you guys have not retrieved him yet. But, I mean, it's up to y'all. But the plan was that you guys were going to meet back up with Zarek afterwards.
Personally, above game, I feel like going in the frontal assault has been doing well for us so far. Helping Zarek, probably where my head's at, because the catching his pants down is not a guarantee. And at this point, he's already pulled a trap on us.
So, here's my thought, though. What we could use the frontal assault as a distraction while we kind of get in the go into the castle. Most of his forces are going to be dealing with the army itself, and we can probably get in no problem. That's just, my thought.
What are you thinking, gang? Feel free to everyone have this discussion, by the way. Everyone can contribute.
What do you say,
Look,
Monk?
we're good at stealth, but we're not great at keeping stealth, so that's my thought.
Yeah.
Go silent, then go loud. How about you, Punk?
Go silent and go loud seems to be how we roll.
Sarah?
Yeah, silent and then loud is how we usually do it.
It seems that I am outvoted and we are going with the sneaky route. We'll have to get in touch with Zarek and inform him the change of plans, though. We gotta keep communication up.
Do you guys want to just make like a vote proper? Just because it sounds like some people might be on the fence.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. I will make a poll in here, in the Discord. Use funny cat. Wait, no, hold on. Sneaky, breaky, sneaky, or breaky. And then use funny cat. Hold on. Use funny sit cat for sneaky. Use Shiba notes for breaky. I don't know why this is what I went with.
Funny thing is, we can actually make like an actual poll.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't do that. How do I do that again?
No.
We're already voted though. We've already voted.
Sneaky. Hold on. Sneaky.
Freaky!
Sneaky beaky or cheeky breaky?
Breaky.
Donkey.
What are you saying to me, Rovan?
I don't know. Look, I just came back from the dead. Some things are not working right.
You know, I took a dip in the astral sea myself.
Sneaky
I
or
don't know,
breaky?
man.
Place
I
your
found
votes down.
Freaky blinders.
Oh.
Wait, you said you were dead and that nothing's working right. Things were working before?
You mean you were at 100% before? Is that what you're saying, Corbin? Damn!
I've got 3 votes. I need 3 more.
Oh, fuck.
So-
I'm on the fence.
I am
Rem-
stuck because they know we're here, but we should take advantage of whatever advantage we have left.
Clarify for me what going Greeky would be.
Going back to
rejoining
the,
with Zarek and going through the front like you guys had originally planned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going loud.
I mean, we would have more. Actually, now that I think about it, we would have more allies with us. How long would it take us, though, realistically, God? How
To-
long? Would it
to
take
what?
longer?
It,
Would it take longer?
I mean, that depends. I can't above get. If somebody wants to spend inspiration, I can give you guys an exact timeline
I
for
spend
both
a
things.
commune.
How
I mean,
long
I've
does
got-
commune take?
10 minutes.
I've got 2 bits of inspiration. I can just use one.
If you want, your inspiration.
Okay. Yeah,
Not you,
I'll just
Nugget.
go.
That was my dog.
Not you, Nugget. We're asking Joe. It's Joe's inspiration.
Hang on. Wait.
His decision.
I heard the dog, and the dog says, "Do it. Stop being a bitch." Okay.
See, don't let Nugget influence you. You do what you want with your
That
inspiration.
is the good boy, and I will listen to the advice that he gives.
All right, but if he starts pushing you towards NFTs, I need you to firmly tell him no.
I will bring that up to Tart first and foremost.
Yeah, you're right.
Nugget,
I mean, you could bring it up to him too.
Nuggets is gonna push you to buying chicken nuggets for him.
How
Lots
did
of
we-
chicken nuggets.
How did we
Anything
start
but
with
Tyson Nuggets.
how did we start with infiltration or go loud, and we ended with Nuggets selling NFTs?
Look, D&D's a hell of a
Sorry,
drug.
it's because you let me in the room.
It's fun.
I'll go.
It's funny. No. You stay.
Are you wanting to spend your inspiration? I mean, it is up to you.
I'm gonna spend the inspiration. Yeah.
Okay.
Hell.
The dog said stop being a bitch. I'm gonna stop being a
Knockity
bitch.
knock knock. God, tell us what's up.
You spend the inspiration?
Yes.
Hell.
Please go Breaky. I made a map and everything, and it's so cool. Please go Breaky.
Okay. We can go Breaky.
Above game, there won't really be a difference in time.
Knock,
But
knock,
I
open
made
up the door.
I made
It's
a
my
really
scroll
cool
of tsunami.
I have a really cool map and encounter and everything. Go meet up with your boy.
Meet up with you, boy.
When God's like, hey guys, please do this. I put so much fucking work into this. Please use the thing.
Fingertippies. Can we use the map?
I wouldn't go that far. He's like, I put so much hard work and I just want to show it off, and we're like, okay, yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. So you guys are going back to regroup with Zarek.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You all start filing your way back up. You file your way back up, and you quickly escape the dank, dark area of the Undercroft, if you will, of the dank, dark Undercroft of the Zorn Arena. The sun meets your eyes and your skin once more, and it is warm. You hear the sounds of fighting. However, rather more out this way, it's more directed towards the center of the city, towards the castle. You guys quickly begin to make your way over to the castle, in which you are subsequently met with your ally, Zarek. as you meet up with Zarek, you see that he is barking orders. He slays one of the last defenders coming up on the wall around the castle. Zarek sees you all coming and goes, "Ah, there you are. How did your mission go?"
Poorly.
What?
We went into the Colosseum and we could not find Cedric there. It turned out to be a trap placed for us, and well, we barely got out of there. However, the results of we do have some results of. Sorry, let me rephrase. We do have some good news. Some of their prisoners have been freed and are awaiting some form of armed reinforcements to defend them as this all clears up.
Fuck. Okay. Have you informed Theon?
No, we were about to let him know the moment we let you know.
Alright, inform him. He can give us support here, now that he's no longer waiting for your missive. So, as a soldier comes running up. How goes the report from Zeros' end? Zeros has almost finished locking down the city. Soon he will be able to join us in the assault of the castle. Good. Alright. This is it. All of you! With me! And there is another... As he says that, as he shouts, there is a pop. As a bright light shoots into the air. There is a... As it pops and as light scatters outwards, there's the roar of a very familiar horn. And upon the wall, you see the world shaman, the massive minotaur known as Yaros, call out, "Take the castle for the Daidojin!" And as you all commence your assault upon Castle Mornstead, that is where we are going to end for tonight. But not before I show y'all your map.
Corbin would send off that sending message to Theon. Holy fuck!
Ooh!
We'll touch on this a bit later.
Ooh,
But a
wow.
little bit of a sneak peek for y'all. As the courtyard is covered in Daidojin, in Tanaruks, the fiendish orc warriors, and there's what appears to be orc ogre hybrids as well, known as Orlons. And more than that, guarding the entrance, undergoing the fights between several of the Daidojin, appear to be two Oni. As the fight rages on and the assault of Castle Mornstead is underway, that is where we are going to end for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Oh boy. Hey, thanks for going this way, guys. But we have to send it around the horn. Let's start with our man of the hour, Jay Frost.
Hi everyone, Twitch, Twitter, JFrost747. Find me here every Sunday with these lovely beans for this great campaign. Looking forward to all the fun and excitement yet to come. Also find me every other Tuesday here on this channel for our Rascals in Ravnica campaign. Promotion! Hooray!
Hooray!
Promotion.
Promotion, secret police. Other than that, find me doing some randomized streams sometime in the near future with my spouse, Spoiled Chestnut. Doing more Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke. Probably do some Final Fantasy Tactics and a few other fun games. And you can catch me every other Saturday over at twitch.tv/burnoutbon as the DM for the Saved by the Spell campaign. The party just came out of a massive Danger Room exercise training. To be
I just
honest,
realized my music's so going. That's why everything sounds still menacing. Continue.
Oh no, you're fine. Dude, it's all good. But yeah, the party came out of a massive encounter against a holographic projection of one of their professors. They put up a fucking good fight. Speaking of which, how about I pass it off to the one who ended that? CG, where can they not find you?
Hello, I am the CG. You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media. But you can find me on all those things what J Frost mentioned. He does a lot of things that I also do. It's uncanny. So instead, I'm gonna pass it on over to Sarah.
They can find me nowhere at the moment, but they can go check out Kozguk at twitch.tv/Kozguk. She does a lot of charity streams. She's a very lovely coffee bean. So check her out, give her a follow, tell her I sent you, and give her some love. Punkles.
What's up?
What's up?
I'm your favorite gremlin. I play Ray Hawkore. You can find me milling around on some people's streams sometimes. Mustering the energy to come back. Mostly funds. But you all can find me on Twitch, Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, sometimes TikTok. Ooh. River?
I didn't hear. I didn't hear my name at first.
River. My bad.
You can find me over at twitch.tv/WickedRiver97, where I'm coming back eventually. Time is too much, but I have things planned, so that's at least a start. But yeah, I'm around. I'm a clown. Joe. Joe win. Right?
I thought you were. No, I didn't go.
Go.
Also, you said you were a clown. I thought you were some sort of imp or something.
I'm both.
I am so confused. But, you know what I'm not confused about? Liking this video, YouTube, because this was a fun session. Also, while you're here, subscribe to the channel. And then also just ring that bell to be notified whenever Tart uploads a new video. Speaking of which, hey, Tartles.
Hello, everyone. I have been your humble dumble master for the evening, the one and only pudding pastry, the farting tart. You have already found me here at twitch.tv/fartingtart, where I do D&D, I do variety games, and on the very odd occasion, I apparently run court in hell. Yeah, that was something very fun to set up, and I did let J Frost know ahead of time, like, hey, I ain't done with you, motherfucker. But yes, I did let J Frost know ahead of time that this was going to happen, or at least some variation on this was going to happen in the future, so he could prepare accordingly. So I didn't fucking throw him in with his pants down. Isn't that right, J Frost?
I was in danger.
You sure were, buddy. But next time you'll see me will be on Tuesday. I'll be on Jake's channel where we are going to be doing more Legacy of the Deal Breakers. But also I recently played Poke Rogue, and that is very cool, and I may be doing more of that in the near future. That was a real fucking good time. But
Oh yeah, it's fun.
we need to send it to someone. I think we're gonna send it over to my buddy Luke, who is currently playing some spooky horror games.
Luke.
Everyone, go show Luke some love. Let him know who sent you. We will be back next week for another episode of War of the Shattered Sun, where we will have less I don't know less court cases and more stabbed faces. Good one, me. But thank you all for joining us. We love you all so very much. And remember, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. You are loved, you are valid, and most importantly, if no one told you today, you fucking matter. We love you all, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
See ya!
Bye.